certainly hope this is working. I worked really hard this morning to try to get it working. Hi, my name is Andrew. This is my stupid little channel, The Morning Hash, and I'm just coming back because I don't know what else to do. And I'll get into it here in a second, but I just want to make sure that we are up and running. I think we are. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. I think it's good. Okay, cool. Sorry about the. All right. Well, like I said, my name's Andrew, and this is my show, The Morning Hash. It's just a stupid little show, and I'll just be frank. Um, I first of all, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. I don't. I'm gonna get this fucking bitch off my screen. Um, I'm just a guy who I guess doesn't know what else to do. I don't have any expertise in this or that. I don't have any special training. I don't have any special degrees. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a this. I'm not a that. I'm just an average guy who's trying to make sense of our crazy world. And frankly, right now, I don't know what else to do. I really don't. I have a family. I got a wife and a baby girl and a very nice home. I have a good job. Got a regular 9 to 5 job. And I think, much like many other people, I don't know. I want to make this very clear. I'm not black-pilled. I'm not. I'm not hopeless. I'm tired. I'm not black-pilled. I'm not. I do see hope. I see a lot of hope. What's happened with the Charlie Kirk stuff, and after that, just insane, just crazy tragedy. It's not. I don't know if it's really right to call it a tragedy, right? I mean, because tragedy means like it was just something out of nowhere, and this was a planned assassination. So this horrendous murder, I should say. Everything following that, seeing everyone, come together, and I want to make this clear. That's not just like a right conservative thing. It's just the average person is seeing what's going on because evil has completely unmasked itself. So, much like many others, I see that, and I think, boy, I've got to do something. And if this is what I do, if this is what I can do, then so be it. If I can just talk, because that's what Charlie Kirk wanted to do. Because if we don't talk, they win. That's the point. And again, I don't have any expertise in anything. I'm just a guy. So I just wanted to jump in and just talk about my thoughts. And if anyone finds this and anyone wants to come in and jump in the live stream or anything like that, if anyone wants to, do that. One ingestion is using primary. Send one stream to the primary ingestion URL and one stream to the backup URL. I don't know what that means. Sorry, there's an error on my YouTube thing. I don't know what that means. What's the stream health at? Poor? I have no idea what the fuck this means. Oh, God, of course. You got to come back and do something else. Well, let me double check something real quick. I'm very sorry about this. If you happen to watch this, that is. It seems to be healthy. Current bit rate. Hold on a second. File. I'm very sorry about this. God damn it. I didn't want this fucking bitch on my screen. Son of a bitch. Can I try this? Let's do this. Now let's do... I don't want that. Let's do this. Stream settings. Stream health. Hey. Very sorry about this. I'm getting back into the swing of things. I'll just start talking, man. It doesn't matter. I'll just start talking. Whatever happens, happens. Okay, let's go. Whatever happens, happens. I'll figure it out. So I'm just gonna jump into it. What do I want to start? I really don't want to start with Jasmine Crockett. She's. Why does anyone listen to the left anymore? There's no reason to listen to the left anymore. But there was this. I don't know if you saw this. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
So
Let me turn that down a little bit. So, like I said, I'm just an average guy, and I'm seeing everything. I'm seeing all the people who are waking up, and everyone's seeing this. And maybe you're someone who's woke up. But I'm seeing this, and people are realizing they've been lied to about pretty much everything. So this woman poses a very good question. Well, let's just listen in, and we'll go from there.
I have a question for you. What unites the left wing? What makes the left wing come together in community? Because with the right wing, it's obviously Christianity and their collective commitment and love for Jesus, and also nationalism. They are nationalists. They, America, flag, nationalism. Where for me personally, when I think of national, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Oh,
So we don't have a unifying glue in the left wing that binds us together. What is it? What brings us together? What do you think? I have a question for you.
That's a good question, right? That's a good point. That's a good question. What does unify the left? You know, when people step back when you're in a battle for the hearts and minds of a nation, the hearts and minds of people, what do you offer? What do you have to offer them? Over here on the left, let's put the two martyrs next to one another, right? Let's do George Floyd on the left, and let's do Charlie Kirk on the right, of course. So on the left, you've got George Floyd, a guy who was a violent felon who pointed a gun at a pregnant woman's belly, who overdosed on fentanyl because he consumed his stash because he knew the police were coming, because he was using counterfeit money at a bodega or something like that. And so he swallowed all his fentanyl. And if you don't believe me, you can go look at the autopsy report in the state of Minnesota. And it says fentanyl overdose. He died of a fentanyl overdose. So you got that. And the response to that is burning down cities, looting stores, assaulting and killing people, demanding that everyone bow down to you and give you everything you want, give you reparations, install DEI into everything, and basically just throw the entire fucking world for a complete fucking loop. And try to usher in an insane Marxist age of bullshit. Because that's all it is. Like Black Lives Matter, Marxism, all of this stuff, DEI, Marxism, that's all it is. That's all it is. So you've got that on the left. And then on the right, you have Charlie Kirk, a man who, even if you disagreed with him, that doesn't matter. He was practicing his First Amendment rights, his rights of free speech. Charlie Kirk on the right, who was just talking about God, family, and country. He gets murdered in front of his wife, and I guess it was revealed the other day that his kids actually were not there. His children were not in attendance, so thank God. But it seems like Erica was there, so he gets murdered in front of his wife and thousands of people. And what's the response? People have candlelight vigils. People pray. People go to church. You have people quitting OnlyFans. People saying, I'm done with Satan. So when you look at these two things, if you're presenting these two things to a person and you say, what would you like for your country? Over here, you've got all this fucking chaos. You've got all this madness over here. Over here, you've got people being peaceful, right? You have forgiveness. You literally have the wife, the widow of the murdered man saying, I forgive the killer. You have grace. You have forgiveness. You have people who are seeking something better through a higher power because they understand that they're not gods and that we have some kind of order to this thing. Where on the left, you have people who believe that want to be gods and literally demanding people bow down to them. So if you just present this to someone who doesn't know what's going on, like if an alien just showed up and is like, hey, I just want to know what should I vote for? It's like, which country would I want? You know, over here you got this, that. What do you think people are going to choose? What do you think people want? She's right. What does the left have to offer? What do they have to offer? Anyone. Other than fucking pain and suffering. I mean, what are they going to do? Let's go back to this bitch, Jasmine Crockett, okay? So again, you on the right you have, or just right and average people, you have Erica Kirk forgiving the killer, and then you have someone like this just espousing hate.
Mullen criticized political rhetoric on the left. I'm going to talk about that and much, much more with Democratic Congresswoman.
I'm not going to watch 7 minutes
Jasmine,
of this.
with the president cover now, no evidence. Try to get
judiciary should look into an ICC. This is absolutely something.
Let's just go to Twitter and find this. I'm not gonna listen to fucking 7 minutes of that. I'm not gonna do that. No, we're not gonna do that. Jasmine Crockett. I'm sure I can find it very quick. I don't want just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. She did say that. Well, it's a good thing her seat got eliminated. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 150. Let's do this one.
Something that you heard the senator just say, which is he was talking about a resolution that came before the House this past week honoring Charlie Kirk. And there were 58 Democrats who voted.
Okay, so let's stop right there. Let's get to the resolution. Where do I find it? I guess I'll just do Twitter again. Let's say Kirk resolution. I want to link honoring Kirk. The Senate passes a resolution declaring October 14th, 2025, Charlie Kirk's birthday as the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. Okay, let's we will be introducing a resolution authorizing Charlie Kirk to lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda should the Kirk family wish for him to be honored there. What else is it? Here it is. I'm trying to find exactly what it was. A resolution has just been filed to allow Charlie Kirk to lie in the state. So it was basically a resolution just honoring Charlie Kirk. I thought there was something else to it. Yeah, there was no strings attached to this vote. This was a simple gesture of human decency to denounce political violence. So basically, it was a resolution in the House to just denounce political violence and honor Charlie Kirk in the Capitol Rotunda and saying, look, we all agree that political violence is bad. Right? Right? So, I'm all over the place here. 95 Democrats voted in favor of the resolution. Shit. Honoring Charlie Kirk. 118 Democrats voted for political violence, with 58 voting against it, 38 voting present, and 22 Democrats didn't vote at all. So I want to say again, this resolution that was denouncing political violence and trying to just honor somebody who was murdered for practicing their First Amendment rights had 118 Democrats basically voting against it. 58 voting against, 38 voting present, and 22 Democrats didn't vote at all. Okay, and then we'll come back to AOC maybe, but let's go back to Jasmine Crockett because this is what she's talking about. That's not what I wanted. That's the long version. I don't want the long version.
Against it. You were one.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Let's go back. Sorry.
Well, on that note, I do want to turn to something that you heard the senator just say, which is he was talking about a resolution that came before the House this past week honoring Charlie Kirk. And there were 58 Democrats who voted against it. You were one.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. You know what? One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color because the rhetoric.
Why does that matter? Why does that fucking matter? Why are you so obsessed with race, you racist bitch?
that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color.
Wrong. Prove it. You can't.
And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was specifically to us. And I can tell you that a month prior to him passing away, he had actually gotten out on his podcast. I wasn't aware of this at the time, but he got out there and he was talking negatively about me directly.
So fucking what? Who cares? You talk negative about fucking everyone. Not fucking everyone, but everyone, you fucking bitch.
If there was any way that I was going to honor somebody who decided that they were just going to negatively talk about me and proclaim that I was somehow involved in the great white replacement, yeah, I'm not honoring that kind of stuff, especially as a civil rights attorney and understanding how.
If you're a civil rights attorney, god damn, no wonder civil rights is a fucking mess. People like you in charge. So you refused, you've actually voted against the resolution to denounce political violence. So you voted for political violence because your feelings got hurt? You're a fucking child.
How I got to Congress knowing that there were people that died.
You're not going to be in Congress very much longer, so enjoy it. She's auditioning for her future role.
People that were willing to die, that worked to make sure that voices like mine could exist in
She looks like she got fat.
This place. So to me, just like we wanted to make sure that those Confederate relics were taken down, the idea of a new age relic being propped up was something that I just could not subscribe to. And it is
subscribe to. Was that something to subscribe to? I don't know. I don't think.
It's unfortunate that more of my colleagues, even on my side of the aisle, could not see the amount of harm that this man was attempting to inflict upon our communities.
The amount of harm that Charlie Kirk was attempting to inflict upon the communities, and yet he brought together millions of people all over the world in candlelight vigils and prayer. Imagine going on television the same day as someone's funeral to bash them. Jasmine Crockett, what happened to your ghetto accent? Oh, that only works when you're talking to the brothers, as Obama would say. Remember when Obama said that? He was like, well, the brothers got to get out and vote for Kamala Harris. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. So you have this, right? You have this on the left. Why would anyone, I don't want to listen to 3 minutes of AOC. Like, what's there? What's there that's building anything? They can't build anything because hate can only destroy. Only love can build things. Oh, and speaking of like relics being raised up or whatever the fuck you think it is, yeah, there's going to be a lot of Charlie Kirk memorials. There's going to be a Charlie Kirk statue. And of course, I'm sure your little Marxist minions will deface it and will tear it down and all that shit. Yeah, that's just fucking dandy, great, grand, wonderful. They have nothing to offer but hate. That's it. Again, the resolution was against political violence, and 118 Democrats couldn't bring themselves to vote against political violence. It is just a toxic, poisonous ideology. And I think, and I mean this, I think it is just satanic death worship. What else is it? They're literally posting videos of themselves singing and dancing and laughing and cackling like demons because somebody died. You're worshiping death. Why would you expect people to vote for you? Why would you expect people to want to be connected to that? You are so. It's not that they're just disconnected from the average person. It's not that they're just disconnected from reality or anything good. They've gone so far down, they have no idea where they're going or where they've been or anything. I don't know if I want to listen to this. This is fucking.
I think Gentleman Representative Green.
AOC is getting fat.
For his graciousness. Today, the Republican House majority
This is about that resolution as well.
brought to the floor a resolution honoring, quote, honoring the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk.
I'm probably not going to listen to all 3
Charlie
minutes of
Kirk's
this.
assassination was a horrific and vile attack and incident of political violence.
She can't even spit it out. She doesn't even want to say it. She doesn't want to say it's terrible. She wants so fucking badly to support it. She wants to say, you know what, I'm glad he's dead. She can't even say this.
And condemning the depravity of Kirk's brutal murder is a straightforward matter.
Okay, so why don't you just sign the resolution? God damn it.
I think life and legacy of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's assassination was a horrific
Spit it out.
and vile attack and incident of political violence.
She can't even say it.
And condemning the
She doesn't
depravity
want to say it.
of Kirk's brutal murder is a straightforward matter. One that is especially important to help stabilize an increasingly unsafe and volatile political environment
Volatile?
where everyday people feel more at risk. We can deeply disagree and come together as a country to denounce the horror of this killing.
Okay.
And it is not a license for the abuse of power and whitewashing of American history.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Today's resolution only underscores the majority's recklessness by choosing to author this condemnation and honoring on a purely partisan basis, instead of uniting Congress in this tragedy.
Okay, so a few things. I'm going to stop listening to this. I don't want to listen to this whole fucking thing. So one, you said the majority. You're goddamn right. The majority is against you. You are the minority. You are evil. We see you. People don't want anything to do with you. A partisan issue? A partisan issue? Denouncing political violence? Get off my fucking screen. I don't know. And of course, we've got people like fucking Don Lemon, who doesn't understand what's going on, and who wears a shirt with his name on it. Lemon. Let's just jump into that. I mean, I don't know why I brought all this up. It's just fucking upsetting me in a way. You know, I woke up this morning and the first thing I did was I downloaded a Bible app. I've been praying and reading the Bible. Again, you know, I'm just trying to do my best. And I think that's all any of us can do. And I think a lot of this getting thrown, I really don't like going on Twitter too much because you get thrown into all this chaos and all this bullshit where it's so negative and everything. And I think what the Democrats are doing, and I think what their little Marxist minions are doing, is they're just trying to push you more and more and more into chaos and anger and hate. They can't stand the fact that someone like Erica Kirk said, "I forgive you." They wanted so badly for everyone to turn to violence. They want the right to lash out so fucking badly. Because then they can go, see, we told you. See, we told you. Look, they're violent. They're terrible Nazi fascist people. They want so badly for you to lash out. Because that's all they know is hate. And the only thing they can do is drag you down with them. Just don't, when you see these crazy people online, when you see these crazy people who are saying all this stuff, who are dancing on the grave of the dead, who are going after Erica Kirk, who are saying all of these vile things, who are trying to goad you and everything, just don't engage. Really, just don't engage. That's what they want. You can take screenshots. You can share it. If you see these people, we need to let it be known who these people are in our communities. We need to talk to each other about who these people are so we can keep them away from our families. and get them out of school boards and get them out of hospitals and get them out of all of the things that, I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. You know, it's a very deep infiltration. It's bad. Get them out of the justice system, everything. It's going to be a long process. We've got a lot of work to do. But don't engage with them. Don't go get into shouting matches with them. Don't get into back and forth with them online. That's what they want. They want to drag you down. They want to rip up your heart and soul. They want you to hate. They want you to be angry. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's what they want. It's just a waste of time. You're not going to change their mind. There's nothing positive to come out of it. There's nothing that's going to be gained from it. They're not going to listen. You could present them with all the facts in the world. They don't care. They just don't care, okay? It's a waste of time and energy and resources. Just anyway. Is there anything else? I don't know how much longer I'm going to go because I got kind of a late start because I was trying to get all this set up because I forgot what the fuck I was doing. I don't know. What do we want to look at? I know I've got this on the screen, but there's just so much. Oh, my God. Let's just read this. Okay. So, hold on. Let me adjust this a little bit. I suppose that works. I just don't like this thing on the left. That'll work. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little tired. So this is per Zero Hedge. Watch. Don Lemon rants against Christian messaging and religious nationalism at Charlie Kirk's memorial. Oh, no. Excuse me. Authored by Steve Watson via modernity.news. Let me open that up because I might go check that out. I might go check Modernity out. Where's Modernity? Okay, I'm going to have to readjust that one, but let's go here. Okay. Hold on. Sip of water. Okay. Fired former CNN loser Don Lemon spent 2 hours. I don't know why that's so funny. Just 2 hours. He has absolutely nothing better to do with his life. Don Lemon spent 2 hours complaining about Charlie Kirk's memorial, arguing that it contained too much Christian messaging. It's kind of the point. Lemon sounded angry about scriptures being quoted by the speakers at the event, suggesting that they were demanding submission. No. Demanding submission. Did you see anyone demanding anything? These people came together under their own volition. They came together because of God. They chose to do this. This is what you don't understand. They chose to do this out of love. That's why you don't understand it, because you don't have love. You don't understand love. You have hate. You cannot build anything. This is building something. These people are coming together to try to build this is what Charlie Kirk wanted. People to come together under God to build families and build a great country. Building it up. And you hate that, so you denounce it. What we saw in that arena was not simply faith-finding public expression. It was religious nationalism on full display. Good. Good. 5 minutes.
These are the things that they said Charlie Kirk stood for.
Yeah. Yes.
He was a man of faith.
Yes.
And the reason that struck me so is because I got a text from a friend who said,
yeah, come on.
I am a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
The person who babysits my child is a black woman from Jamaica.
Okay.
And she says Charlie Kirk was a person of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to them, okay, so what does that mean, a person of faith? How does a person of faith act? How does a person who really believes in what God...
I'm not listening to all 5 minutes of this.
and the scriptures say, the true meaning of it, not the distorted meaning, how would they treat the least of these? Mm-hmm. So what I say now is that what happened in Arizona this weekend was not just a memorial. It was something else entirely.
What was it, Don?
People will tell you that it is about grief. It was about grief, about honoring a man's life, about faith.
Yes.
And on the surface, maybe it looked like that.
They are beside themselves trying to tear this down without just coming out and saying, we fucking hate you. They want so badly to just say, yes, we want you dead. I mean, the people online are saying it, right? The unhinged lunatics online, the goofballs online, they're saying it. But people like Don Lemon and AOC and Jasmine Crockett, they just want to fucking say it. They're doing all of these backflips, all of these mental gymnastics to try to justify what it is they're saying. And they don't know what to say because they really just want to say, we fucking hate you and we want you dead.
Tens of thousands gathered. The music swelled. I'm sure some of you saw it. I just saw some of the sound bites.
Okay.
There were prayers and tears and moments of silence. But if you...
I'm just thinking to myself, if you told this to just a random person or like an alien or something, and they'd be like, oh, well, I'm sorry somebody died, but it sounds like people came together to celebrate his life. That sounds kind of nice. And Don Lemon just can't fucking stand it.
You stayed long enough for the little bit that I could stay. And then I said, you know what, I'm out.
Why, Don? Why? Like, what? Did someone throw holy water on you and you begin to smoke and it burned your skin?
If you listen long enough and close enough, if you stayed long enough and you listen close enough, you could feel the ground shifting beneath you, because that wasn't just about a man who died. This was about a movement claiming divine permission to rule.
You're goddamn right. Yes. Yes, we want to rule over this country in the name of God. Yes, we want a Christian nation. This is a Christian nation. It was founded on Christian ideals. Now, and the thing is, and I'm a Christian, I'm not going to thump you over the head with the Bible. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say you have to convert. I'm not going to say you have to go. I think it might be good if you go to church. I'm not going to say you have to go to church, though. I think it would be good if you pray. I'm not going to try to force you to pray, though. But you got to understand, and you have to respect the Christian traditions and ideals that built this nation, that founded this country, that allowed you to live the life you are living right fucking now. You want to go live in the Middle East, Don? You want to live under Sharia law? Look how that's going in Britain. Is that what you want? And go to Uzbekistan? Do you want to go live in... Well, I was going to say Russia, but no, they're very Orthodox Christian. Do you want to go back to the motherland? Do you want to go back to Africa? Is that what you want? Where they've got witch doctors and all that shit? Is that what you want? Does that look better? What religion, what spiritual system on earth has done more than Christianity? Right now, today, when you look around the world, where would you rather be? Nowhere. You're not going anywhere, Don. You're not going anywhere. And if you want to tear down this entire system, if you want to tear down the religion that built it and all of the love that built it and everything like that, and the love that has been rekindled, that is trying to build something great for the future, if that's what you want to do, what are you going to replace it with? You don't fucking know, do you? You have no idea. You don't know what you're talking about. You've got your marching orders from your globalist satanic masters that say you just need to try to tear it down, and you have no fucking idea why. It reminds me of there was this girl on Capitol Hill testifying about oil, like fossil fuels. And she said, we just have to get rid of oil and fossil fuels and all that. And a congressman responded. He was like, what are your glasses made out of? What's your water bottle made out of? What's your binder made out of? What's your pen made out of? What are all the parts in your phone made out of? Made of petroleum, oil products. Okay? So if all of that disappeared at night. Like, so let's say at midnight, it's all gone. What do you replace it with? If all the fossil fuel factories and operations disappear overnight, what do you replace it with? And she didn't fucking know. And she just stared at him like, I don't know. Right. You don't have a plan because you're not trying to use love as your guide. You're not trying to build something. You're just trying to tear something down, and you don't even know why the fuck you're doing it. They don't know. Ask them. It's like, so when the next time you get into a discussion with someone, and again, don't engage with the crazy lunatics who are just dancing on the grave. Don't engage with those people. But if you do have a conversation with someone who might actually listen, who might want to sit down with you, just ask. Because like, if it all gets torn down, what are you going to replace it with? Is our system perfect? By God, no. Nothing is perfect. Never has been, never will be. But what are you going to replace it with? What are you going to do? Really? If all of the systems collapse overnight, what are you going to do? You don't have a fucking plan. You don't know. You just took your marching orders from Satan, and that's all you care about.
Can I get a witness?
No.
And all of the sound bites and the words used will reveal to you exactly what I said. It was a revival meeting wrapped in a memorial. I'm from the South, Southern Baptist. Went to Catholic school. You know what a revival meeting.
Aren't you gay? Isn't Don Lemon gay? If you want to be gay, that's fine. Whatever. But it just makes me think. You don't get to come into Christianity and say, yes, God accepts gay people, and rewrite Christianity, because then it's not Christianity anymore, is it? Are you going to do that to Islam? You ain't going to do that to Islam. You ain't gonna go into a mosque and say, hey, I'm gay, you have to accept me. Excuse me. You're not going to do that, you fucking coward. You'll do that to Christianity, though. And when people say, well, no, Christianity doesn't accept that, you're going to be like, oh, so you're a bigot. It's like, well, if that's what you want to call me. No, I'm just a Christian, and that's what I believe. It's like, well, you have to change it to accept me. No, because then it's not Christianity anymore. Then it's some kind of weird bastardized amalgamation of God knows what. I don't know. If you want to go start your own religion that has, homosexuality and all that stuff, go for it. Knock yourself out. Is there a religion that accepts homosexuality? Does Judaism? By the way, I just want to make it very clear, I am not a Christian Zionist. I just want to make that very fucking clear, okay? I don't want you to sit here and think that I am some kind of Christian who supports Israel and everything like that. And, oh, God damn it, why did I even say anything? Why did I even open that can of fucking worms? I'm not going to talk about it. No, I don't support what Israel's doing.
Is right. That is the holiest of holy rollers having a revival. Let the church say amen. It was a revival meeting wrapped in a memorial, a political rally dressed as church. And by the end of the night, it was clear this was not only about Charlie Kirk's death. It was about his afterlife in politics.
Yeah, well, you say this like people are going to be angry about it. No, people understand that. I don't. Jesus Christ.
Donald Trump stood on the stage like a man at the center of a prophecy.
I'll say this. I will say this about the memorial. I thought it was very nice. I thought Erica Kirk was absolutely lovely. And my God, what a remarkable person. Not just a remarkable woman. What a remarkable human being. She really is. I would have preferred she would have spoke last. I wasn't a huge fan of the way that Trump went about it. I appreciate the message. I'm not saying I think Erica Kirk should have gone last. I think that would have been. I understand why Trump went last, and I appreciate them being on stage together, and him supporting her and everything. That's nice. That's fine. I don't know. That's just me.
He called Charlie Kirk a martyr. Other politicians promised to carry out his mission.
Good.
The crowd cheered,
yes,
as if the passing of the man had lit some sort of sacred fire.
You're damn right. And you have no idea what's coming for you. You have no idea. Does that imply violence? No. I'm not calling for any kind of violence whatsoever. I agree with Steven Crowder about self-defense violence, vicious violence and self-defense, absolutely. But no, I don't want people to go out and commit random acts of violence. No, I don't support that whatsoever. But you have no idea what's coming for you. You are going to see the 2026 midterms are over. They are done. Done, done, done. Finito. OV, as the kids used to say. Yes, it is lit in a fire. You're damn right. And good. May it burn for all of eternity.
To me, this was not mourning. This was a mobilization.
Okay.
And here is where we have to tell the truth here. What we saw in that arena was not simply faith-finding public expression. It was religious nationalism on full display.
Yes, correct. That's what Charlie Kirk wanted. He wanted a nation under God, right? Who was using Jesus Christ as our guide. That's what he wanted. So that's what people are going to do. Have you seen all the people online on Twitter, on TikTok who are saying, like, you've seen this one guy, let me see. I'm going to have to get off here pretty quick, but I don't know. To church. I don't know how to find this guy. There it is right there. There it is, man in suit going to church. Remember this guy? Have you seen this guy? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
You know, I don't come from any kind of money, and I've never owned a suit before. My wife, she bought me this suit. Our anniversary's coming up, and we have a nice anniversary plan. You know, we make a little bit of money now, and I'm proud to say that, because that's certainly not where either one of us comes from. And I feel good in this suit, man. And I just want my wife to know she made me feel good. It's a $300 suit. I ain't never had nothing like this before in my life. And I tell you what, okay, video flip here, so I'm gonna lose some of you. I didn't know Charlie Kirk, never met that guy before in my life. And something else that I've never done before in my life is believe in God. I'm gonna wear this suit to church. I'm gonna go to church. I'm going to try to be a better father, husband, and leader for my family. They deserve that. My phone fell down. I guess that's the devil trying to mess me up right now. I'm gonna try, y'all. Look at this suit. I look good, bro.
You're good, brother.
My wife made me feel this way. Charlie's made me feel this way. Yeah. Message over.
All right, that works. And I see people. He'll get it hemmed up. Don't worry. He'll get it hemmed up. People, calm down. Okay, he'll be all right. But that's what Charlie Kirk wanted. Holy shit, Don. What a terrible thing. What a terrible world it must be where men and women are working together to build families, and men want to be good leaders for their families, who want to dress in suits and go to church and try to be better fathers and husbands. Holy shit, what a terrible fucking world. You fucking demon. That's what Charlie wanted. That's it. That's it. He didn't want to round people up. Well, we need to round up the criminals. The criminals need to go to prison or Uganda or wherever the fuck. I want to get rid of the illegal aliens because we need to have laws. We need to have borders. but for the people of the United States of America, he wanted Christian nationalism. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. I just showed you an example of what that will build. And I don't know anyone who could look at that guy, the man we just watched, and say, I hate that. Well, I do know the demons, but just an average common sense person will look at that guy and say, yeah, good job, dude. All right, man. Go get it. Good for you. And good for your wife, supporting you and everything, and you guys supporting one another. What's wrong with that? I don't know. Don Lemon hates it.
That is the truth. That is my truth. This is my freedom of expression. This is my First Amendment right to be able to tell you the truth.
You're right, Don, and no one's fucking shooting you in the throat for it, you cocksucker.
From my point of view, not just from my point of view, this is what it is.
What it is.
The language is unmistakable. Take the nation back for God. Restore America's covenant.
Good.
This is a holy calling. That's what it sounded like. This is not the language of democracy. This is the language of domination.
No, again, democracy is the freedom to choose, right? That's what you say, the democracy, the freedom to choose. Those people chose to go to that memorial. They chose to follow Charlie Kirk. They chose to go to church. They're choosing to go to church. They're choosing to buy suits and pray and be better fathers and better husbands. Why can't you understand that?
Because I feel.
Many
people, when I wrote this book, said, I had no idea that you were a person of faith, that you had such strong belief in the Almighty.
I don't think you do.
And I say, because faith is a private matter. It comforts. It convicts.
Okay.
It calls us to humility. But when faith fuses with power, it begins to ask for something else. It asks for obedience.
Don Lemon, humility of all people. I don't have time to get the examples.
Divides the country into the saved and the damned, the chosen and the condemned.
How much longer? Okay.
It turns opponents into enemies of God. And when politicians...
Opponents into enemies of God. So you're an enemy of God? Is that what you're saying? Because you're objecting to this. You're openly stating you oppose this. Are you just saying that you're an enemy of God? How am I supposed to take that, Don?
Wrap themselves in Scripture. They are not calling us to virtue. They are demanding submission.
No one said that at all. No one said that whatsoever. Find me one person at the rally. Find me someone who is saying, yeah, we're going to subjugate you. Find it for me.
That is why this matters. It matters to me. That's why it should matter to you and to everyone. You have to see beneath, you have to see beyond the illusion.
Oh.
You have to remove the filter of ideology from your eyes.
Oh my God, says the man who worships at the altar of progressive ideology. The projection is just astonishing. It really is. It's like subconsciously they want so bad to say, they know they're wrong. They know it's them who's projecting this bullshit, and their subconscious knows it. What the fuck? Guess that's the devil trying to mess me up. They just can't bring themselves to admit they're wrong. They can't do it. Their ego won't allow it. They'll never admit they're wrong, because if they admit they're wrong about one single thing on their side, it all comes crashing down like a house of cards. Just domino effect. Just it all comes crashing down. Is that it, Don?
And your spirit.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Don, what's wrong with that? Let's see. I think America would much rather submit to Christ than submit to whatever the left religion is. Right. And what I started the video with. Over here, you got burning down cities. Over here, you've got prayer vigils. What's it gonna be? And again, someone who's just on the outside looking in, it's like no one wants to force you into Christianity. I don't want to force you into Christianity. I don't want to do that. I just want to present you with, as Charlie Kirk did, I just want to present you with, over here, you've got the left burning shit down. Over here, hey, why don't you come to church? And if you don't want to come, that's fine too. But yeah, have a nice day. That's it. And you can choose. You can choose which way you want your life to go. Okay, you can go with the devil or you can go with God. Again, I don't. If you're going to support one side, even if you don't believe in God, even if you're not a Christian, would you look out and you say, if you had to, if you were going to vote, like if you're presented with the options, what are you going to pick? Even if you're an atheist, be like, well, I certainly don't want my cities being burnt down. I don't want my stores being looted. I'm sick of transgender ideology in schools. I'm sick of, drag queen weirdos reading pornography to children. That's no good. I don't want that. Like over here, it's like but look at all the Christians. The Christians want to subjugate you. It's like, yeah, I don't know. They're just kind of holding hands and praying. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're lying to me. I think you're full of shit. Don Lemon calls Scripture demanding submission because he has no clue what truth or freedom actually is. He looks at joy, faith, and unity and sees a threat because misery can't comprehend peace. Yes. Hold on, let me read this one. Let me start again. Don Lemon calls Scripture demanding submission because he has no clue what truth or freedom actually is. He looks at joy, faith, and unity and sees a threat because misery can't comprehend peace. His bitterness leaks through every word. A man empty, angry, and rotting on the inside, trying to project that onto others. The Word of God doesn't enslave, Don. It exposes. And it just exposed you. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Lemon is so laughably pathetic and narcissistic. Yes. He doesn't get it, not even close. The modern left has no vision, no hope, no fulfilling message. No wonder why yesterday's service was so hard for them to watch. Because it offers something. It offers some peace. It offers some joy. It offers some hope. The left literally has nothing to offer, and now they know it. And you know what that means? They're going to keep lashing out. And you know what that means? They're going to keep committing. Unfortunately, and I don't want to say this, I hate to say this, but it's reality, they're going to commit more violence. They are. That's all they have left. Lies and violence. And that's it. Because no one's listening to him anymore. No one's listening to you, Don. That's why you got fired. Like a few times. You got fired from CNN, and they got fired by Elon Musk, and now no one's listening to you. You bitter whatever the fuck you are. He's sitting in his own living room wearing his own name on a t-shirt while broadcasting to absolutely no one. Hey. So he admits to listening to the little bit he could and takes absolute judgment of the entire thing. That's a great point. Don Lemon does more bad to the Democratic Party than he does good, and that's why he's jobless. Yes, indeed. It's surprising that he wasn't rolling his eyes at Kirk's memorial. Don Lemon rolls eyes at Melania, saying she's traumatized over Trump assassination attempt. Someone with a soul and some humanity would understand why she would be traumatized, but considering this demon has no soul or humanity, it's no surprise that he doesn't understand. Last week, he was even humiliated by Piers Morgan, who played the atrocious clip that got Lemon fired from CNN and then proceeded to call him a dick. What else do we got? Okay, we're almost done here. I'm going to have to wrap up.
This is what led to you leaving CNN. Let's take a look at the clip.
She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It's a base statement. Surprisingly.
What?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that.
When you watch that, Don, I happened to be watching that live, and I was like, "Whoa, what did you just say?" I mean, if you had a do-over, would you say that again? I mean, what led you to say that?
Okay, Piers, let me just say this. I'm going to answer your question, but just so the audience knows, and I hope you don't cut this out, when I asked you what subjects you wanted to talk about, you know what you said to me? You said, I want to talk to you about freedom of speech in America and the response to Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
Not once did you mention that we were going to talk about CNN or whatever. So, and had I known that, I probably wouldn't have accepted this interview. You have invited me on many times, and I tell you, Piers, I know you. I would come on your show, but I don't do panels. And so when you said I'm not going to be involved in a panel.
Do you not do panels because you can't be confronted with facts and truth because you have no retort?
I agreed to come on your show, but I thought you would also stick by the subjects that you told me that you were going to talk about.
Just to be clear,
rather than try to ambush me with something.
Just to be clear,
so,
you and I haven't. Well, Don, just to be clear, you and I haven't had any conversation about your appearance here. You're talking about my team talking to you.
Yeah, no, and I saw you, Piers, in a restaurant, and I said, hey, Piers, good to see you. I would come on your show, but I don't do panels.
Right.
And I said the same thing to your bookers.
There's only one
of
you.
And so when I asked you, right. Okay, and so, yes, and I said that's why I agreed to do it. But when you asked me, or when your team asked me what subjects, and I asked them 2 or 3 times, I have the text messages, what do you want to cover? Not once was CNN mentioned. So I don't appreciate being ambushed. But let me answer your question.
Hang on one second. No, Don, hang on 1 second. Hang on. Let's just be crystal clear about what's just happened. You brought up the subject of cancel culture. I asked you, did you feel your departure from CNN was an example of that? And you answered the question. And I think it's perfectly reasonable.
And I answered the question.
Perfectly reasonable in that if you'd said to me, I don't want to talk about it, fine. Sorry.
Oh my God, he's such a fucking sensitive little bitch.
You said what you're going to say. By the way,
we disingenuous.
Don, we don't edit.
I don't like arguing like this. I'm not going to get into an argument with.
Then why did you start a fucking argument?
Argument with you, Piers? I think that's completely disingenuous, and I think anyone watching that.
What are you talking about?
And so, if you will allow me, please.
What
please
are you
stop
talking about?
Me, okay, Did you invite me here to interrupt me, or are you going to let me?
I think you're being a complete dick, if I'm honest with you.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's very kind and respectful of you.
It wasn't intended to be kind or respectful. I don't like the ad hominem
attacks.
Okay, then. You're just a fucking dick. And you suck a lot of dick. A dick who sucks dick. Imagine that. Hilarious, especially given the opportunity he had, but monumentally fucked up a year ago. Right, yeah, there he is. Look, he had a chance and to have a big show on Twitter X, whatever the fuck it's called now, and he just demanded everything. Musk fires Don Lemon from X deal. His approach was just CNN, but on social media, and he demanded a Cybertruck and $10 million a year and Tesla stock and X stock and shit. Get the fuck out of here, you dick who sucks dick. All right. I'm going to have to go. I got to get ready for my 9-to-5 job. I got to walk the dogs and everything. I guess I'm just going to start doing this again. Like I said, I'm just a guy who's just trying to make sense of it all and make fun of it all and have some fun. So if anyone wants to do that, hop on in. I'm going to be streaming in the morning. It's really the only time I have to stream. I like waking up and reading the news and reacting to it, I suppose. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. Let me check one thing real quick. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I will talk to you tomorrow.